Welcome to Within the Madness. This is the very first edition of this. You're going to see this so many times over the next 3 weeks or so, from now until the end of both the men's and the women's tournaments. Tonight's pretty much the night of the first four in, right? So what we're going to do real quick is just give you a quick idea of what's happened thus far today. But first, we're going to start with the late games. With Norfolk State and Appalachian State. Norfolk State was cruising at the half. They were up 36-20. Things got a little tight because Appalachian State got off to a hell of a start in the second half. It's a 1-point game right now. Norfolk State clinging to that 1-point lead, 52-51, with 2:06 left in that one. The other late game, it got pushed, this time of the year. The game times are always suggestions. They are subject to change. You guys already know how that is. But UCLA and Michigan State are battling. It's 17-15 Michigan State with 11 minutes and 30 seconds left in the first half in that one. So those are the two late games. What we're going to do going forward every night, we'll give you guys quick updates on the late games, and then we're going to recap and talk about, break down, if you will, the earlier games. So the earlier games tonight, where you guys want to start? You guys want to start Texas Southern and Mount St.
Mary's and Texas Southern.
All right. Well, Cardell or Ray, whoever wants to start, you can start. And what I'll do is I'll go ahead and pull up the clips.
Go ahead, Ryan.
All right. First and foremost, I gotta say, man, as soon as I turned the game on, this was the first time of me watching that I missed fans.
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
excitement. It didn't feel the same, man. Like, even like last year in the bubble, like it was kind of happy to be watching basketball, period, for the WNBA and NBA. But I mean, with March Madness, man, you gotta have that fan component, so that was it's probably a little selfish, but it was kind of disappointing to me to to see that. But I can imagine. I'm pretty sure the players don't care. They're just happy to have the opportunity. But getting into the game, this was a good game, man. I feel like between the first half and the second half, the teams kind of flip-flop positions, and in the first half, Mount St. Mary's, they were, imposing their will defensively. They were winning all the hustle plays, 50-50 balls and things like that. And they ended the half with an exclamation point. Damian Chonky, the coast to coast, and the finish. I thought they was gonna come out in the second half and kind of create some more separation because they were up 10 at that point. But whatever adjustments Texas Southern talked about at halftime, they executed to a T. They started trapping more aggressively. Kind of making them make decisions quicker. In the first half, Mount St. Mary's, they were kind of getting the ball into the high post, and then the defense was just sinking in a little bit. And that big in that position was just making good decisions with the ball, swinging it to the corner or finishing himself. In the second half, Texas Southern, they started trapping a little higher and just pressuring Chonky a whole lot, and it kind of made the offense a little more ragged. And they were, they were able to get some turnovers. Texas Southern, their offense kind of woke up. The basket started getting a little bigger for them, and they started making some threes, and they were able to walk them down. And they started the half off with an 11-0 run, and that was I think they just kind of got them on their heels and was able to sustain control of the game from that point on. But man, I think this was a great chess match between the coaches and the teams executed the game plan at certain points, and it just made for a nice, competitive, tough, scrappy game, and that's what you like to see around this time of the year, man. Especially for a playing game, both of these teams are essentially fighting for their lives, for the chance to get into move on and get into the field of 64. But congrats to TSU, man. They toughed this one out, and after it looked bleak, 20 points and a half, that's not a good way to start, but they were able to fight back and get the win.
Cardell.
Mount St. Mary's, like I said, the first half they came off to a strong start, especially turning over Appalachian. Texas Southern, my fault. They turned it over Texas Southern and getting out in the transition. They were getting easy points. Mezzi Offram, who was actually a former GW player who transferred after last season to Mount St. Mary's for this season. He had a strong start. I love the dunk he had in the transition. That set the tone. I think that's what got them the momentum, turning them over and getting out transition. But the adjustment and honestly, they were swarming Texas Southern at first, not just full court, three-quarters court, even in the half court. They were swarming, trapping them, and it put Texas Southern on the heels in the first half. The second half, Texas Southern, in a sense, reversed that. They started trapping, full court pressing and trapping Mount St. Mary's, and it's basically daring anybody to be a playmaker other than Damian, Sean Key. You know what I'm saying? So, and nobody could really be a consistent playmaker. He's only 5'8", so put some big, long, athletic guys on him to trap him. You got to get the ball up, and somebody else got to make decisions, and they struggle with that. And they missed shots, and they started turning the ball over. And that's when Texas Southern got going. They have a high-powered offense. I think they average 73 points a game during the regular season, so they could put points up on the board. 60 is below what they do, way below, which is a testament to Mount St. Mary's. But once they got going in transition, I'm talking about Texas Southern, and started getting easy baskets, they got in the rhythm, and there was nothing much, Mount St. Mary's could do. I was really impressed by John Walker, the third, 6'9" for Texas Southern. He came in averaging 12 points and 5.4 rebounds, but he finished the game with 19 points and 9 rebounds and went like he elevated his game. And he was the mismatch, being 6'9". He stepped out, hit a couple threes, picking pops, athletic, can run the floor, recover block shots. He's a Swiss Army knife type of player. And that was something that Mount St. Mary's couldn't match. And, that's eventually why, they failed. Texas Southern had their way in the second half, and they got the win.
All right, we're gonna move on to the other early game. This was a fun one. This was one of those. It's officially March. Like, you want to talk about a great tone setter to a tournament? Drake and Wichita State gave us just that. So Ray, I know you started with the first one. Cardell, gonna have you start with this one. Drake and Wichita State, man. Your initial thoughts and just some of your thoughts while you're watching the wild end to this one, man, because it epitomized this time of year.
Look, man, March Madness. I feel like Wichita State, I say about halfway through the first half, I felt like they had control of the game. Alterique Gilbert, he had 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals. Their big man, 6'8", 240-pound Morris Adizi, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 2 steals. They got the ball rolling for Wichita State. Drake couldn't do nothing with them at first. I was like, man, they about to just blow these dudes out. Okay, it is what it is. But then Drake went on a 10-0 run to end the first half, and they got them back in the game at the halftime. And that's why I was 21-20 instead of possibly 21, 10 or something like that. That's how bad it was. And you got to look at Drake's sophomore guard, Joseph Yusufu. He sparked him when he dunked on Wichita's Clarence Jackson. 6 foot, that right there, 6 foot point guard, dunked on a 6'7" wing. That'll get anybody fired up. And that kind of like broke the ice because you could tell Drake was nervous at first. You know what I'm saying? And when they got going, it made up for the 6 first half turnovers that Drake had that helped, give Wichita State some opportunities to score again. Wichita State leading scorer, man. I hate to do this, but we gotta keep it real. Tyson Etienne, the conference player of the year of the American Athletic Conference, came in averages 17 points on 39% shooting from deep. He finished with 1 point and 1 rebound on 0-6 shooting. Nightmare. I mean, that's beyond nightmare. Oh man.
That's a hell of a time to have that happen.
Man, what?
That's a sick performance, man. So your top player was non-existent. They took him out the game completely. And then obviously in the second half, Drake went on a 15-4 run that put him out in front, and they just held on. 3 3-pointers during the run, 10 points from Joseph Yusufu, the sophomore point guard, during the run. He also had a clutch steal and clutch free throws with 22 seconds left in the game. Gilbert went 1 and 5 in the second half, due to the full court trapping from Drake. and Udeze finished with 22 points and 4 rebounds and 8 to 13 shooting. Was basically Wichita's only consistent player. You know what I'm saying? He was the only one that was consistently a threat. Drake's defense swallowed everyone up, man. That full court trap and press, man. They didn't know when the trap was coming. They just knew you was gonna get pressured, and it threw Wichita. It threw them off, man. So you got to just give credit where it's due. Wichita honestly should kick themselves. They finished 11 to 22 from the free throw line.
Mm-hmm.
Drake shot 6 to 10. Shoot better from the line, and it's a win. You lost by 1. Simple as that. It little things, and it's reflective of how, let's just call it what it is. Certain players for Wichita was tight, especially as the game went on and Drake got back into it. They got tight, and they couldn't finish through. Also, want to give a shout out to Drake, 6'10", 275-pound big man, Darnell Brody. He was solid. He had 9 points and 10 rebounds. He was key for Drake in that comeback. During that win.
All right, Ray.
Yeah, man, it was I enjoyed this one as well. Total team effort from Drake. Their defense was smothering, and Yusufu, he gave them offensive punches when they needed them. It's highlighted by that dunk. It's early candidate for dunk of the tournament. But yeah, man, they just made the plays when they needed them, man. And like halfway through the first half, like Cardell mentioned, it kind of looked like it was about to get ugly. But they turned the tide and was able to close the gap, go into the half only down 1. And he mentioned the free throw shooting. Yeah, 50% from the line, you get 22 attempts. That's just leaving food on the table. Then they were 3 of 18 from 3, and Drake, he mentioned they only got to the line 10 times, making 6. They were able to make up that difference, going 7 for 19 from behind the arc. So that's they're plus 12 in that area. So yeah, man, it's a combination of Drake doing what they had to do and Wichita State, kind of missing some opportunities there, and then like you say, if their leading scorer just kind of disappearing, that's a recipe for disaster, man. Especially around this time of year when anything can happen, you cannot afford a game like this. So yeah, and this resulted in them going home early. But shout out to Drake, man. They gritted it out. And that's just what you love to see, and you live to fight another day, and anything can happen at this point. So, as long as you're still playing, you got a chance. So, yeah, congratulations to them for moving on. And, I mean, it's going to be interesting to see them playing moving forward, with the defensive pressure they're able to, to put on teams. And I would imagine they're going to have a better offensive night as well. So, you never know, man. It's March Madness is a crapshoot. I'm excited and definitely looking forward to catching the rest of these games.
Just an update on today's games before we just take a brief look at what's happening tomorrow. Norfolk State, they held on. Not an ideal second half after a great first half. They did just enough. Jalen Hawkins led the way with 24 points, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals. So they will advance. We'll let you know who they're playing tomorrow in just a bit when we pull up the regions.
Norfolk State.
Yeah,
they got
play Gonzaga.
Yeah,
that's a hell of a reward.
Yeah.
A hell of a reward. Sorry, wow. So you guys didn't even want to wait till the brackets got on screen. Just want to just go full doomsday with the sharing off immediately. Cool. Let me go find the brackets real quick. All right. Just so we take a quick look at what's happening, man. This is in the West, right? Like you guys said, that empty slot underneath Gonzaga, it has been filled tonight by Norfolk State. That's going to go on Saturday. In the West region, there are no games tomorrow in the West region. In the South, we do have some action. We got Baylor taking on Hartford, UNC taking on Wisconsin, Villanova, and Winthrop. We got Purdue, UNT, that's tomorrow, Texas Tech, and of course, I do not have that up, so give me a second. USU, we got Arkansas and Colgate. Let me pull the rest of this up so it's easy for me because I'm old and can't see anymore. So make this real easy. So that was Utah State and Texas Tech earlier when I couldn't tell you what the initials were. Tomorrow we also got Oregon State and Tennessee. We'll get to that. Liberty and Oklahoma State, Wisconsin, North Carolina, like we said, Cleveland State and Houston, North Texas and Purdue, Rutgers and Clemson, Syracuse and San Diego State, Morehead State, West Virginia. Winthrop Villanova is one of the late games, but we got a full day. Virginia Tech and Florida starts the day tomorrow. That's a 7-10 matchup. But just looking at these brackets, just want to ask you guys initially, you guys have any teams that jump out to you guys as far as dark horses early?
Dark horses. Ooh.
So I'm gonna put the brackets back up, and we'll start in the West. Put the West bracket up on the screen, the West region rather. Just any dark horses, you guys, potential dark horses. Nothing too crazy on night one, because we got many more nights of this.
USC, because they got the Mobley kid. That's gonna be a high pick. That could be a dark horse where they can make a deep run for sure. His impact is crazy. His versatility. He basically got like a three-man skill set, but in the center's body, and he knows how to play like a center. It's kind of, I don't think he's as big, but it's kind of similar to what we see out of Wiseman.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I can see them being a dark horse if he, locks in, if he as dominant as he can be.
All right, Ray. Any dark horses in the West region for you?
Yeah, I agree with USC. I'm also kind of looking at UVA. They're always a scary team because of the way they defend. And
are they a dark horse though?
Well,
that's what I'm saying. Like,
they're a 4 seed, sir. We cannot allow you to submit that as an answer, sir. The committee has ruled no.
Man,
they're not even like 2 years removed from a national championship, sir. So we cannot accept that submission.
Dark horse, no, but okay. I don't know, man, because like I'm not too high on them neither. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so here, is it fair to say that's your team to watch out for, to be aware of? You wouldn't be shocked.
There you go, yeah, right, yeah. So
and Drake plays USC.
You want to know what I'll say about that one? Drake with that pressure, that's gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Because in the tournament guards, if you got some nice guards, they can disrupt a lot.
That's all I would say. The teams that have had success against USC this year, if your guards can harass their guards, that plays a big role in Mobley. How much Mobley's able to get the ball. So
yeah,
Mobley a factor, though. That's 16-8 and 3 blocks a game, though. He a factor.
Oh, not for sure. If they got any type of outside chance, like you guys said, it's usually the guards' time of year. And if you're able to press and turn folks over, it gives a lot of people a fighting chance. All right, on to the South bracket. Ray, we'll start with you with the dark horse this time. Sorry, man. So don't come out here and pick Purdue or something. Pick another person. You got your one out the way. Your one mulligan. My man was like UVA. Not accepting that again.
Come on, man. Don't do me like that.
That's your one for the tournament, sir.
I don't know, man. Texas Tech is interesting. Like, it's good to see Mac doing well. That's gonna be fun to watch. But like I always have a problem with with kind of predicting how things turn out in March Madness because I try to use logic.
Oh nah, what are you doing that for?
That's just not the way to go. But,
it's in the title, sir. You gotta pick a color and just ride it. But now I'm gonna jump in there. Probably on this side, I think I'm probably gonna have Wisconsin kind of as a dark horse, just because that's one of those senior laden teams in a year where a lot of teams, some teams got a lot of youth or whatnot. They got a lot of seniors over there, man. So I get them a little love out that bracket.
I'm honestly roll with Utah State.
Okay.
Utah State. They got the 7-foot kid who's high on the draft board. Has been watching him a couple games this year. Nemus Queta.
Okay.
Average 15 points, 10 rebounds, 2.5 assists, and 3.2 blocks a game. He's a force inside. Yamana, legit footer. They got Justin Bean, 6'7" junior, 11.7 rebounds a game, shooting 51% from the field, 83% from the free throw line. Nice little compliment. And then they got guard Marco Anthony, junior guard, 6'5", average 10 points, 5 rebounds, 3.1 assists. Shot 34% from three. He's not the best shooter, but he's a factor. He can get in the lane and make plays and stuff like that. And he loves to defend, and he's 6'5". So they got NBA size on there. They got 3 guys that average, double figures and whatnot. And they definitely have a couple snipers come off their bench. Brock Miller, Alfonso Anderson, and Steve Nashworth. But yeah, the key to them is play them. 7-foot junior, man. If he perform, he won't be there long. This will be last time we see him in college. So, I can see them kind of going on a run. They got a tough matchup with Texas Tech. But Utah State, they won 20 games for a reason in the pandemic year. So, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta keep a close eye on when they play tomorrow, so the whole country will get to see them soon.
How about that? We already got through 2 regions and footers are being mentioned. It's crazy.
They are.
It's really, really wild.
Hey, the league's starting to catch on again. They're like, we're not Steph and Clay. Gotta switch this shit back up.
Bruh, there's only 2 of them things, dog. All right, Midwest. Ray, we'll let Cardell start again. Ray, we're gonna give you
a
chance. Yeah.
I gotta start.
Yeah.
Shit. Oh. Dark horse. Yeah.
And again, this is not saying anybody's gonna go on a magical run. Just if they get one, that's love. Like, that's cool.
Oh man, dark horse. Put the graphic back up, sir. Thank you. I'm gonna pull Lorraine. I'm going with Illinois. Say no, I'm fucking with. Rutgers, man. Look, I'm gonna go with Rutgers. I know they ain't finished strong, but
come on, man.
What you mean? They tough seed.
No, I'm saying you're gonna take mine. That's what I'm saying. That's
they didn't finish well, but I love their guards, man. I know their guards. They got some dogs on the. They got some dogs on that. Ron Harper Jr. Yeah, if you know who Ron Harper is. Ron Harper Jr. is a problem. Jacob Young, the point guard, he's a problem. Gio Baker. I like Montez Matthews. Obviously, he an area kid. He a dog. I know they ain't finished well. They had a stretch where they just were playing bad, losing games. But the Big Ten was hell this year. It was hell. So, but I've seen what these guys can do when they're on their game, and they push Illinois early in the season. You know what I mean? So. They got the guard play, like we just said. Guard play runs things in the tournament, and they got the guards to do it. So I'm all at Rutgers. I like what they have. They lock in.
All right, Ray.
Oh boy. I'm gonna go Georgia Tech, man. Because they actually finished really strong. I think they had like an 8 or 9 game win streak to go throughout the, and then they won out the ACC tournament. So they're on the high right now. They got a good guard, Jose Alvarado. He straps. So then Moses Wright as well. He's something to deal with on the inside. So I don't know, maybe that momentum carries over. They definitely got the personnel. They might be able to cause some matchup problems. I definitely didn't expect them to handle Florida State like that in the ACC championship. So yeah, that's my pick for the Midwest.
All right, yeah, Cardell, pretty much I'm sharing Rutgers with them on that one just because those guards are hell to deal with. And the fun thing about a conference like the Big Ten, we saw them kind of eat each other alive. They're free now to go bother other people. for the most part. So, that's a fun part about this year, this time of year, I should say. All right, last but not least, the Eastern region. Ray, you can start this one off, then we go to Cardell.
Why are you doing this, man?
It's my job, sir. It's my job.
All right, I'm gonna scorch the earth. I'm gonna go Georgetown.
I know you're gonna do that.
All right, Cardell, you got another one that's just as you gonna scorch earth with Ray?
Dark horse. Damn, the dark horse. Man, it's hard to choose either LSU or St. Bonaventure. I can't choose. For what I just said, LSU got some outstanding guards, especially their freshman guard by way of Boo Williams, Cam Thomas. That boy he wake up with 25 in the books.
Saying
yes, indeed, man.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm like I knew he was gonna get some buckets, but he like, nah, this is too easy. I need to be playing 82. You know what I mean? So, but like I said, that's gonna be a hell of a matchup. But St. Bonaventure represent the A-10 conference I covered through GW. They had some nice guards. Kyle Lofton, 4.6 points, 5 assists, 3 rebounds. He's a problem. Jaron Holmes is a problem. He averages 13, 5 and 2, shoots 39% from 3. Jalen Attaway, 12 points, 6 rebounds, 1.5 assists, 51% from the field. Dominic Welch averages 11 points, 44% from the field, 72 from the free throw line, 40% from 3. But the best player to me on that team is 6'10" Osunniyi. He averages 10 points, 9.5 rebounds, and 2.9 blocks per game. Simply put, he always reminded me of Clint Capella.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, St. Bonaventure. I might keep it A-10, just roll St. Bonaventure. That's my dark horse because he's a game changer. He'll stop all that guard play. You're like, if y'all ain't hitting threes, y'all in trouble. But they got the guards out there that can defend, so they make you pay. That's why they have 5 players averaging double figures for the season. So, yeah, I'm gonna roll with St. Bonaventure. This is my dark horse in this bracket.
All right, I'm excluding myself from this one. For personal reasons.
For
personal reasons.
Hell nah.
Because I'm a pick.
You ducking the wreck. Oh, pick your Huskies.
I do that. If I didn't know if I'm allowed to pick them as a dark horse. So yeah,
you gotta pick your Huskies. That's fine. They're dark horse. 7 seed. That's low enough.
I just want to make sure it was under the Ray criteria.
You know what I'm saying? I'm about to roll with Hunter Dickinson, man. I'm gonna roll with Juwan Howard.
That's a no, sir.
But yeah, that's fine.
But yeah, that's probably one with is that time of year, like you said, man. Guards are guards. So I'm gonna roll with them. There's a lot this year, and like Cardell said, I think the fun part this year is the talented bigs some of these teams have, and just how much of a role they're gonna play. Because a lot of the teams, obviously you got Michigan. There's so many. They got all these different flavors of bigs. You got your footers. You got your just under that. You got your tweeners with some size on them. A lot of mobility out here. It's gonna be fun. And like Cardell mentioned, some of them are matched perfectly with guards to complement them.
What hurts Michigan, Isaiah Livers being hurt.
Yeah.
That senior. He's basically a 6'7" but he be running point a lot. That's the dude that got the ball in his hands a lot. That hurts.
When I was going through my brackets the other day just to fill some out, get familiar with the bracket, I did one where I had them, but it was hard for me to choose them. Honestly, that's a big blow. It's hard. That's tough. That's a tough stuff in this player that caliber this time of year. But yeah, Cam Thomas, boy. You guys have anything else you guys wanted to add? I know we got a big day tomorrow where we got more games to get into, but just wanted you guys to get on tonight. See the format is like we've told folks on the other shows. Feel free to comment, whether it's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, etc. We'll see you. We'll respond either live on air or the following day. Just a brief update before we leave. 51.3 seconds left in the first half of Michigan State, UCLA. Michigan State's leading 42-31. So without anything else.
No shock. That's Izzo, baby.
Yeah.
Never bet against Izzo, baby.
Hey, look, there's a couple rules I have in March. That is one of them. That time of year, I don't care what them teams look like all through the year. It's March, man. It's different.
Pretty sure he mad about having to play in too.
You don't say. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you guys tomorrow.